escape from the team. Call the morning steam. It's time to break one for cover. That's gonna cover. That's gonna cash. Then we make the 100-yard dash to the window. I don't know what you thought. It's Ramon Scott running so hot. Sports make money and we make money with sports money every single day. NFL, NHL, NCAA. Stay away from the juice or might play a parlay. It's the morning steam. What? Ramon Scott. Sports money. What? Wake your ass up and let's get to the money. Get to the money. You know how we do it.
Final.
All right, a pleasant good morning to you, coming from the sports betting capital of the world, Las Vegas. This is Ramon Scott, and welcome to the Morning Steam Show here for Sunday, March 15th. We've got a great day of sports betting ahead with 5 great championship games here on Sunday, getting underway in just a couple of hours. 5 more bids ready to go and see who is going to the NCAA championship tournament here on Selection Sunday. Who are the top seeds? I think we know who they are, and they might be the only ones that can win the national title. But there's some bubble teams out there. Some teams will get in just to get out, so it doesn't really matter in the end. None of those teams will be around, I'm sure. Still got some great championship games. We had some automatic bids yesterday go down and some other great events in sports here yesterday. Hope you're able to join us last night for our coverage of UFC Fight Night here from Las Vegas with our main event. Hey, if you missed the main event, no big deal. You didn't miss very much. Kevin Vallejos won over Josh Emmett in quick fashion. Emmett looks like he might be coming to the end of his career. The 41-year-old was totally dominated by the young Argentine who picked up his 4th UFC win there last night in the main event. So hopefully you're able to join us there. We had a good time. We'll be back next weekend, hopefully here on the Sports Money Network with our coverage of UFC. Hope you're able to cash in with me on some picks over there. Had an okay night for sure with some of our picks here. You can get more picks from me every day over at winnable.com/Ramon. This is where you get your premium picks every day. I'm hopefully going to be on here, bring you a bunch of picks every day on major sporting events, including today, college basketball, NBA, NHL, but you can get more selections from me right now. And I have a pickup tonight in tonight's tennis match on the men's side over at winnable.com right now. So hopefully you're signed up and can get those plays from me. If not, don't fret. I do have a drawing at the end of the contest, at the end of the show, where you can win the picks from me over at winnable.com/Ramon. If not, you can subscribe for just $19.95 per month, $17.10 when you use the promo code STEAM at checkout. That's how you can get the selections as well. Try to give you some good picks here on the show, day in and day out, but I have a package where you get the picks in a little bit more timely fashion. They're sent to your device, your email. You get notifications if you want. You can get into my Discord, which I haven't figured out yet, but hey, it's running strong. Got a lot of great content in there. Just can't figure out how to get everybody in there. But nonetheless, get more picks from me every day over at winnable.com/Ramon. We're going to preview the games here in just a moment. We had some exciting sports action from yesterday. I want to thank everybody for coming in here in the chat. We're going to go over the previews. See Nuke in here saying only 5 games today. Bummer, but we're going to have more, Nuke. Don't worry. We'll have plenty of games this week, especially when it's Thursday and Friday with our double 16s and into the NCAA tournament. Get you ready tonight after the brackets come out. We got some great sports, man, here tonight. But you can be working on your brackets while you're watching the World Baseball Classic. How about it? Last night at the World Baseball Classic with Oh man, can you believe Venezuela over Japan 8-5? Wilyer Abreu 3-run home run in the 6th inning to put Venezuela on top and in command, doing bat flips. They celebrated it Latin style. Venezuela wins before 35,000 fans in Miami, going crazy for Venezuela. Japan came over from the other bracket, and they weren't ready for this one. Not ready for what Venezuela brought to the table. Although Otani did hit a home run there in the 1st inning to even the game up as both leadoff hitters homered in the game. But Venezuela, they're into the semifinals of the World Baseball Classic. Well, they'll take on Italy. Italy, man, what a night for Italy here. They won. You had the Formula One race there with Antonelli winning. Hey, before that, you had Italy with a team made up of a bunch of players born in North America, but doesn't matter. They got some Italian heritage, so they put them in there. No one's kicking them out of the country as Italy beats Puerto Rico 8-6. They led 8-2 after the 4th inning, 5-0 in this tournament. There is 34,000 fans in Houston. Watch this one with a lot of enthusiasm there yesterday. It's the teams with the fan momentum that's winning here in the World Baseball Classic. Puerto Rico had some great crowd there too in Houston, but the Italy team was definitely in full force, and they got the win. Andrew Fisher doubled, knocked in 2 runs. Italy's a formidable team here, and they'll take on Venezuela in the other semifinal. Of course, we know tonight the first semifinal going to be terrific here. Like I said, you're going to fill out you're going to get the brackets, you're going to fill them out, you're going to watch the World Baseball Classic here tonight with the United States taking on the Dominican Republic. Can you believe what a night we're in for here at 8 Eastern, 5 Pacific? U.S. just $1.20, $1.25 favorite against this Dominican team. And, well, look, if anything is, I want to root for the home team, but it just feels like the teams that want to play and want to win are doing it. And that's probably what's going to happen tonight with the Dominican Republic. I really can't see myself taking the U.S. I might just make a bet out of spite. That way, if the Dominican Republic wins, I won't feel so bad. But it sure feels like that team is ready to go. The U.S. could and should have the pitching here tonight. But, man, we'll see what happens here when they meet tonight here in Miami. So just incredible here for the United States and the Dominican Republic to be in this game. And, man, Dominican Republic, you get them as a dog, total 9.5 here. And we'll see what you think tonight out at the World Baseball Classic. And then the other bracket there as well will be on the other end with Italy and Venezuela here following up this game on Monday night. And in that one, we do have the line out. Venezuela's a $2 favorite over Italy. Maybe, but I don't think that really feels like a very good price for Venezuela. I think I'd rather be on the dog there with Italy here. So it's a little action. It's going to be a pretty slow Monday there. We'll be looking for some games here and kind of digesting what we saw with the bracket reveal here on Sunday night. So we'll see. So we're going to talk a little bracket right now, talk a little college basketball and see where we stand after the games yesterday. Like I said, 4 more bids. We know we're going to preview the games here in just a few moments. But first, we've got some other big results from last night. Of course, with St. John's over UConn. St. John's, we look at it as revenge. St. John's Coach Pitino said, we just are very proud to win a tournament. We're not worried about who we played. We played to win the tournament. They won it by 20 over Connecticut, proved to be the best after only scoring 40 points in that embarrassing loss. But, man, don't deny Coach. What was I thinking? I mean, I love this guy, and I thought that Hurley and company would put one over on St. John's. What a job there by St. John's in that game. They've won 6 in a row since that loss, 19 of their last 20. And look, they look like a team that could reach the Sweet 16. I don't know, a lot of these teams I don't think they have a chance against these top seeds this year. It really seems like the money and those elite blue bloods, if you will, or those teams that always arrive here at the championships are even better than ever this year. And I don't know if any of these teams can knock off those top tier teams, but St. John's will get their chance. Also, speaking of those, we'll call it blue bloods, but they might as well be. Arizona over Houston 79-74. Arizona wins its third conference tournament in 5 years. They might win this, win the Big 12, win the Pac-12 back in the day, and they snapped Houston's 5-game winning streak, 79-74 for the tournament win. The Wildcats went to the foul line twice as much as Houston in that game, win it by 5 there to advance. They were in anyways, but they won the Big 12 championship game there. Hey, we had them here on the morning steam yesterday as our winner on the show. Also, SEC, we're going to have the final today with Arkansas taking on Vanderbilt. Arkansas beat Ole Miss between Thomas and a Cuff combining for 53 points. Look, I really like Arkansas. I really like a Cuff. I hope he's healthy. I do want to take him today against Vanderbilt. I am maybe banking on him feeling pretty good with his leg. He does have a bit of leg soreness for sure that could slow him in this game, but I'm not sure. I don't want to tip my hand on the previews here, but they are an underdog today against Vanderbilt. Arkansas, they went to the line 31 times compared to Ole Miss's 14. It was a great run by Ole Miss. They were 1-12 in their last 13 games before they won 3 days in a row. And we'll talk about the final games here on Sunday. Mountain West, my San Diego State Aztecs, they're done. They're on the bubble. There is a chance they could get in. We know the attorney committee doesn't really know what they're doing. Hopefully they'll overlook the poor resume here of San Diego State this season and just say, hey, we usually put that team in, so let's do it. But Utah State crushed them there late in the second half. They really couldn't make any shots, and the Aggies win their first conference tournament title since 2020, as the San Diego State just kept turning it over to in critical moments. They really don't have great ball handling there. They're not even the team that we've seen before kind of reach we've seen that team reach the Final Four, even in some Sweet 16s, but not this year. For San Diego State, to be lucky if they make it when it comes to the bubble here. It'll be when the selection show comes up right now, there's pretty much talk about 7 teams and 4 spots. So the committee will be deciding between teams such as Missouri, Miami, SMU, Texas, Oklahoma, Auburn, and San Diego State. There is one bid thief possible there in the A10 championship game, in the Dayton BCU game. If Dayton wins the Atlantic 10 and BCU remains maybe an at-large team there, in that case the bubble's going to shrink a little bit there in that one. So we'll see what happens, but none of those teams are any good anyways, just to make it to the tournament. And we'll see today over at 6 Eastern, 3 Pacific. We get the brackets and see who's going where and fill out our brackets. But, you can just kind of cut out the top 8 teams or so right there and probably be safe with it. Of course, to win, you got to pick a few upsets along the way in those other games. We know that it's not just about finding the winner of the NCAA tournament, even if only a handful of teams are really going to be able to win it. Duke did show off their medal in winning the ACC title game there last night. Duke with the win over Virginia for the ACC title there in that one. Hey, we did have Virginia there plus the points here on the morning steam, so they did get it there in that one, but it was Blue Devils able to get the win there yesterday, 74-70, winning for the third time in 4 years. Virginia 13-2 in their last 15 games. Who did they lose to? Duke and Duke. So Virginia, they ended up with a pretty good team after all. Fought hard in the regular season, the title. They're not in the group called Duke, and it was Duke winning the ACC tournament there yesterday. We're going to have Ivy League coming up here, the first one up at noon Eastern and 9 Pacific. The title there in Ithaca. Where Cornell plays because they can't figure out how to not play at a campus site. So then you get things messing up over there. Yale won the regular season title in the Ivy League. They are in the title game here against Penn, 10-point favorite. We'll preview that one in just a few minutes here. Also, Michigan, they're one of those teams that can win the national title. One of about, 4, 5, 6, 7 teams maybe that can get that far. Who do you guys have in your group that could win or do you really do have an outsider? Doesn't seem like it. Michigan, it did take a monumental effort because they blew a huge lead. Wisconsin comes back, takes the lead, but then Michigan proves clutch in the end and outscored Wisconsin 8-3 over the final 223. And the Wolverines, one of the best defensive teams in the country, 68-65 Michigan over Wisconsin in the Big Ten title game. A10 today, we talked about those teams that'll be in there. Wichita, Dayton over St. Louis to get to that title game. St. Louis led by 11 with 13 and change left. But Durkak for Dayton, 28 points in 28 minutes. He didn't start. Flyers have won 8 of 9. They're dogs against VCU today. And can they pull off the upset there in Pittsburgh? American Conference, it was Wichita State over Tulsa to get their bid. They'll take on South Florida. Wichita State has won 7 games in a row. As the old Wheat Shockers here doing it right now. Really looked efficient in that game. They will take on South Florida. We'll preview that one. MAC title, Akron over Toledo. The best team in the MAC won. Akron, 79-76. Toledo led by 12 early, but Akron goes to the tournament for the 4th time in 5 years. Miami, who there? Will they get in? I have a feeling they'll probably find a way to get in because the committee doesn't really take into account how good a team is. They just like big wins. That's what I do. I just go in there and hopefully I can win my 31 games and go undefeated and then lose, and hopefully you get in by winning all those games. So I think Miami of Ohio might actually squeak in here, and we'll probably get them in Dayton in that first 4 tournament here on Tuesday and Wednesday when they play down to the field of 64. Conference USA title game, Kennesaw rocked Louisiana Tech. There we did have the under as our winner here on the morning steam in that one. Probably when you go 2 for 28 from 3-point range, I don't like your chances to win. I did like Louisiana Tech in that game, but you're not going to win it when you make just 2 of 28 from 3-point range. So Kennesaw is going to the tournament for the first time in 4 seasons here, I think. Owls have won 7 of 9. Hawaii late, if you missed it, they won the Big West tournament over Irvine as Hawaii makes the NCAA tournament for the first time in 10 years. And the Rainbows have won 6 of their last 7. It's good to have Hawaii in the NCAA tournament. They proved it, right, when they could win off of the islands. And that was a good job there as they won over here in the Lee's Family Forum in Henderson. And then late night, Cal Baptist gets it over Utah Valley. Utah Valley paid their $1 million ransom, and they could not win the title game as Cal Baptist advances there. In the WAC title game, and we had Cal Baptist plus those points yesterday as our winner here on the morning steam. Other title games there with the Vermont and UMBC. Man, UMBC rocking it as the Retrievers advance to the NCAA tournament, knocking off Vermont. NC Central and Howard. Howard gets it done. Didn't cover the double digits like I had hoped, but Howard is in there, and Prairie View looked very much the part of the SWAC champion there over Southern to make it to the NCAA tournament. All right, hope you enjoyed that little review. I'm going to say hello to everyone in the chat. If hopefully you caught the Formula One there overnight. It's on Apple TV this year, so maybe a little bit different look there, but I do like the look. And Antonelli, Kimi Antonelli of Italy, got his first ever F1 win. Look out, Lewis Hamilton back on the podium. So let's see what happens now. Maybe they're finally finding their stride there with Hamilton in the seat, and maybe he will have a comeback season here, if you want to call it that, for the great Lewis Hamilton on the podium there. Wins the Formula One race last night from Shanghai. And also, I was on the air. I was doing a show last night. I couldn't believe it. I thought that Richard T. Lee had made a great shot and was going to win the golf tournament. And I kind of was doing a show, just kind of kept talking. And then I saw everyone holding their heads like someone had just fallen out of the stands. What it turned out was Richard T. Lee missed a 2-foot putt, hold it out, went 2 feet the other direction, opening the door for Bryson DeChambeau to win the playoff there by default. Was Richard T. Lee missed his wide open putt at the Live golf tournament yesterday. No one watches Live but me, but no wonder you guys are missing putts out here like that. And it was DeChambeau getting the win there yesterday. All right, let's see who's here today. Who wants to say hello to little old me here on the Sports Money Network. Cash Kane is here today. Nuke Workers ready. Just 5 games today. Uh-oh. Do we have some steam in the background? Really? Right now? In only 5 games? Arkansas is getting steamed right now here. Let's take a look. They only got 5 games. What are you going to steam here? Let me take a look here. Let's take a look at this move here. Arkansas. So Vanderbilt down to a 1-point favorite here at the sharp books right now. I think we all can agree they were 2.5-point favorites here overnight. Arkansas taking that steam here right now against Vanderbilt. We'll preview the title game in the SEC. What do you think of that? Wow. All right, who else is with us here? James Parham as well. Nuke, I think he's on the DR. I'm on the DR, man. I mean, come on. All this momentum. Plus, I mean, I don't want to. Padres fan here, and I am, and I've got Manny and I've got Tatis on that team. They're almost kind of leading the team there a little bit with their energy and enthusiasm. So much so that in San Diego, people have been Padres Twitter land. They're clueless, believe me. But they're like, how come we don't see this energy in the? Well, I guess you're not watching the games because this happens in the Manny and Taddy are always flipping their bats, and they take their Polaroids in the dugout. These guys do go crazy. They've got more energy than most of the baseball teams. As part of the controversy with these guys, that they celebrate too much and they don't come through in the clutch. They don't prove themselves when it's time to win the title. Blake is here today. Mike says, we got the 5 games today, everybody. Greg Gibson is here. He'll preview it with us, so he will. Cash Kane, we're ready for that sweep. And he's talking about Florida getting beat there by Vandy. Hey, I had Vandy in that game, but I didn't have Connecticut. I had Connecticut. Hey, Wager Detective's here today. Nice to see Wager Detective. He'll be uncovering some clues for us. Nuke, everyone says, like this video, subscribe to our channel, Sports Money, here on YouTube. M the Great is here, Big O as well. And let's see, Public Enemy. Good to see everyone here. Power Critter. We're going to have a pretty decent show here. It's not going to be a long show, I don't think. We've only got a few games in each of the 3 sports we kind of cover. There is some soccer going on right now. I'm watching from Spain, watching the early 4th round of the golf tournament here right now as well. What's going to happen in golf today? I got 2 guys from my card this week in the top 10 leaderboard, so I guess I could still pull off some wins here. Got several bets on my top guys here. 2 guys have come through scoring here for me so far this weekend, and I've got them in the top 10 here currently. My top guy still left here is Matt Fitzpatrick, tied for 4th, 5 strokes back of Ludwig, who does lead the tournament, 13 under. The leaders haven't teed off yet, but Thorbjornsen is in second, 3 strokes back. Also, Cam Young, 4 strokes back. Corey Connors in there with my guy Fitzpatrick, Brian Harmon, Victor Hovland, Xander Schauffele still hanging around. Justin Thomas, some big names there. Bridgman 7 under with Bobby Mack there in 7 under. And also, I have Russell Henley also at 6 under. I guess he's my other guy who's kind of scored a little bit here this week out of my 7 golfers. Those were my top guys there pretty much. From that point, not so great here with the rest of the gang, but did score already a few victories there. Hot movers right now today include Chris Kirk and Andrew Putnam here trying to get something going, but leader's still a ways from teeing off here today, probably a few hours away. Steve Eleptarian is here as well. How about Josh is here? Hey, there's my buddy Josh ready to go. Lakers and the money tomorrow night. Don't beat the Rockets. Bobby Mack ready for his big soccer game today. Like I said, we got games ready to go right now. Top of the hour here. Villa and Man United, Fulham and Forest, Leeds and Crystal Palace. I think I actually have some plays here. I didn't have a package, I don't think, here overnight in soccer, but I do like Leeds there over Crystal Palace. I think they're at a pick'em here right now. Why don't I look at my plays here currently? Genoa already beat Verona 2-0 today for Genoa. But I do like Leeds in there today. Just that one's just about to get underway right now. Let's see what else was going on. Was there another? Cagliari and Pisa. I like Cagliari in the under there. That one's about ready to go in Serie A. I did take Cagliari and the under in that matchup against Pisa. Bologna is taking on Sassuolo. There, La Liga halftime, Espanyol and Mallorca. Espanyol leading 1-0. Tijuana won last night. Bundesliga coming up, 3 feature games today. Let's see here if I had something there. I think that was it. All right, let's see what else here. I've got the NIT. I'll say it right now. Look, I mean, I know I could just pick any team, but San Diego State, they're probably going to end up in the NIT. I'm sure they will accept the bid, and I think they could actually win the tournament. I mean, I think when you get done with it and you look at the field and you look at, the bubble teams and the teams that do accept, I mean, those will be the teams that are favored to win. Those will be the teams that will be favored to win. That's to win the NIT, and I think that's what you'll see with San Diego State. I think they will be right in there and possibly get that, accept that bid. It's not every team. Not every team accepts the bid to the NIT. It costs money sometimes for a program to go. You might lose money in today's environment, but we'll see. Right now, Texas is the last team in. Oklahoma is the last team out. San Diego State's in the first 4 out. Auburn's in the first 4 out. New Mexico's in the first 4 out. First 4 in include, this is according to Lunardi, east of the Mississippi bracketology, Missouri, Miami of Ohio, he's got them in. He's got SMU in. He's got Texas in. Other teams they're going to miss include Indiana, Stanford, Cincinnati, and Seton Hall. Other teams that get in under the wire ahead of the last 4 in include Texas A&M, NC State, Santa Clara, and Central Florida. All right, and let's see. I think Greg's talking bid thieves in there maybe. Let's see here. Kennesaw State could be a first-round March Madness sleeper. You got to like it. I love Pettaway. I think he's a great coach there for Kennesaw. Been watching him, obviously, here for a while. USA to smash, says Nasty Nate. He likes the USA to get it done. Look, there's no doubt. If the teams played to their potential, the United States should still be the better team here than the Dominican Republic. Hopefully they'll find some motivation, but it just doesn't seem like they have a lot of enthusiasm for this tournament. It's fake enthusiasm to me. I think they're trying to put on a good face, but I just don't think they feel it from inside like they do, like the Dominican Republic and maybe like Venezuela also. And Italy. I mean, Italy's got obviously their whole story is very, very interesting here with all North American players, players from United States and Canada making up the team. But a lot. Hey, there's Italian heritage in this continent, that's for sure. All right, maybe over here. Hey, if you get a slugfest, maybe that will help a little bit. Although Dominican Republic, you'd have to think they'd probably prefer a higher scoring game than the U.S. Fade Houston. Wager Detective not impressed with Arizona here. I don't know. I feel pretty good about Arizona in the end, actually, here. But let's see. Wager Detective talking about that matchup here in Nashville as well. And also, let's see here, talking about some of those other teams that will not make it, I think is saying Wager Detective there. And Greg says when San Diego State played Connecticut, that was great. You know what? They were really great moment here. San Diego never wins anything, so that was great when they almost had a chance to win that. All right. Oklahoma might be that very last bubble team, and they'll be up to the committee to decide which direction they want to go, right? Like I said, I was hoping that, it comes down to, and then they interview the guy there. He goes, well, we were going to take either Auburn or Miami of Ohio, and we decided to take Miami of Ohio because of the, well, you know why. All right, Michigan. Oh man, I have to think that Michigan. Who's left? Wager Detective. You're going. So I think Wager Detective kind of. Well, I mean, obviously you've got a couple of elite teams too. I think Wager Detective. Either Wager Detective is saying there's really only 2 or 3 teams that can win it, or maybe he does like someone from the groups beyond those. Because I mean, Michigan and Arizona. I mean, like I said, we talked about it a little bit with those. Top teams. It just seems like they're just head and shoulders above everybody else. Nate talking about the Wolverines here. And let's see here. Michigan in the first half today. All right. Blue is here, everybody. All right. And you know what? He might have been riding the coattails of but he's definitely taken over and done a great job with San Diego State. But they just can't get to that same spot. Remember, Dutcher was the guy who guided the team to the Final Four against Connecticut. He's actually been in there, for a decade now after Fisher retired. All right, and let's see here. Bobby Mack says you can put your Apple TV subscription to F1 TV. I think I was watching on
Final.
Last night. I was just in a hurry and used the IPTV stuff there, so I don't think I didn't use the Apple. I'm sure I was watching the coverage from England on that last night. Let's see here. Dominican Republic for Andrew. Barr's ready to go with his game here. And let's see here. Wager Detective does sharp action, moving that line here right now. All right. And we'll get to the previews here in just a moment with the action here tonight between the 5 games in college basketball. All right. See who else is here right now. We got Barr in here talking college, talking the championship there.
Major line move.
All right. Hey, Zach Rossi. Nice to see you in here as well today. Yeah, couldn't sleep last night, that's for sure. Let's see here. All right, might have caught up here. Might as well get started here. Yeah, but what? Bummer, Nuke, right? I mean, just goes to show. I think it goes to show right now. I think there's a sign of the times. Those tournaments were great for gamblers, and just the money. It's not working out right now. Nobody wants. It's kind of like why, right? We as gamblers we want them, right? But it's kind of like the borderline bowl games. Nobody wants to go. Nobody cares, and so you know what? Like we said, the teams sometimes lose money to go to those tournaments. That's why a couple of them were like, hey, we've got 7 teams in our little tournament. It wasn't ever going to get off the ground there. So, hey, Carlos Alcaraz lost last night in tennis in a bit of a shocker. Good finals here today. We got Sabalenka and Rybakina. Should be a good match there with Sabalenka favored in the final at Indian Wells, and then Medvedev in center because Medvedev was able to knock off Alcaraz there yesterday. Maybe Alcaraz was a little distracted with Dua Lipa in the audience there, and Yannick Sinner, he's a 450 favorite against Medvedev today. I do have a premium pick play in that match on the game spread, so check it out over at winnable.com. Let's get going here and preview the game, shall we? Like I said, not a long show, but a good show, I hope, as we get ready for March Madness here today. I think that's it's almost like the championship games are almost an afterthought, waiting for the brackets, and then you get that little interval after the end of the Big Ten game there, and you got to wait an hour or so. And we'll be watching. We'll be watching on the tournament tonight. Will be the Miami of Ohio cam. They always have the camera on the teams, and sometimes it's an afterthought, right? We know this team's getting in. Oh, they're in. Oh, we're in. Yay! Well, Miami of Ohio have the real sweat cam here for once with them. This will be one of the biggest bubble decisions of several years that people are paying attention to. There's always a few teams on the bubble, but this feels like one of the ones that everyone's going to be interested in. All right. And Andrew K., what a team that was there. What a team that was, Andrew, 1990 UNLV with Grandma Ma and Stacey Augman, Anderson Hunt. Help me out. I'm getting old, I guess. I'm trying to, probably forgetting somebody there. The other guard, it was great, man. They were a great team, man. One of the greatest teams. I'll tell you what, that team would win it all. They would play 5 players and win it all. All right, let's go. Let's get to we're going to start the NBA here, of course, tonight, but get to the college basketball here in just a moment. Started off here with the Timberwolves taking on. We're going to preview them all, even the crummy games today. Got here Minnesota taking on the Thunder here in this one. Minnesota getting a bunch of points here, but Ant Edwards is injured here. May not even make this game, but you know what? I mean, Oklahoma City, you can only win so many games so often by so many points, right? I mean, come on, they can't they can't cover against some of the good teams here of late. How are they going to cover against a decent team like Minnesota with or without Ant Edwards, who's nursing a knee injury here, actually. So hopefully he can play today. There's not a whole lot of urgency, it feels like, in this game for either team. Yeah, if you're Oklahoma City here, you're atop the standings. Everything's fine and dandy here right now. You're 3 games up on the Spurs. We still got, more than a dozen games left here, 15, 16 games right now. So, look, there'll be other games. You don't know how it's going to come out, but it's really those 2 teams, Thunder and Spurs. So Thunder got a little bit of a break here, 3-game lead. So favored by 9. Don't have to pull out all the stops here against the Minnesota team that, they're in the thick of things with the teams like the Lakers, Rockets, Timberwolves, and Nuggets. It does feel like those 4 teams are battling for the number 3 and 4 seeds here. They're kind of separated themselves a little bit anyway from the group of play-in teams, if you will. Yeah, could shake it up down there at the bottom in the number 6 and 7 and 8 slot, but Minnesota pretty much riding clear here, probably. They're not going to choke. They've been one of the better teams in the stretch here, but they did have some losses here recently. They were on a 3-game losing streak, but then snapped it with a win against Golden State on the road. They did cover a 10-point win there, but Minnesota's been a bad cover this year. We know that. I mean, they're 14-19 ATS on the road, but OKC's been a terrible cover all year. 28-35 against the spread as a favorite, 15-20 against the spread at home, and just 3-7 against the spread in their last 10 coming in. We know that that's been their thing. I mean, they win a lot of games. They're favored by a lot of points, and they cover about half the time. But sometimes they're going up against lesser teams than this, it feels like, and they don't cover. Here, you're going up against a good team, whether or not Ant is in there or not. I mean, I just don't think the urgency is going to be there. And you got a Minnesota, even though Minnesota hasn't been a good cover, they are 7-6 against the spread as an underdog, and they've already won this season the last 2 meetings against Oklahoma City Thunder. They've won 2 of the 3 meetings this year and covered the spread in all 3 of them. So I don't see how you don't take a team like the Minnesota Timberwolves here in this one. I want to take Minnesota in this game plus the points with or without Ant here. You probably get a few more points if you, it kind of maybe you would come to me to judge whether or not the guys are going to play in the game. I really do feel like this one could be a 50-50 split here. Again, a lot of you, hey, you want to wait? That's fine. I want to wait and see the starting lineups. Well, if you wait, you're probably only, and he's in, you're only going to get probably 7.5 points here. If he's not in, maybe it'll go up, but it might not. So that's up to you. But I'm going to take Minnesota here plus the points in their game against the Oklahoma City Thunder. Thunder have gone under in 5 of their last 6 games overall. Minnesota's under in 6 of their last 8 games coming into this one. So I think when you look at these two teams, I don't think these teams are necessarily under teams, especially Minnesota, 21-12 to the over on the road, 8-5 to the over as a dog here. And you're looking at a reasonable number here, 225. But I want to take the side in this one. In fact, I'm showing some 8.5s out there already right now. Maybe, and it will be in this game here this afternoon at 1 Eastern and 10 Pacific for Oklahoma City. Hartenstein questionable. Carlson is out of this game. Those are the only notable injuries of the short-term guys. Let's get your comments in the chat. We get the show started here today. All right. And Greg Anthony. I mean, come on, Mike. How do I not remember? I mean, Greg Anthony's on our TV half the time anyways here. Fab Five, great. We saw a couple of those. They always go to those Michigan games, the Fab Five. Grandmama, Tark the Shark, eating his towel, of course. I'm famous in this city. Of course, his wife was also a legend in this town. I already knew that coming in, but I've learned even more being here in Las Vegas. Let's see here. OKC Moneyline for Cash Cane. And Ant or no Ant, the Thunder will roll here, says Public Enemy. Var is on the Wolves here plus the points. Greg's got his numbers in as well. Steve's on Minnesota in this one, and Bobby Mack is on the Wolves here as well. I think the Wolves have so many teams around them. I think they've got to be kind of in a sense of urgency, if you will, right now to kind of because you want to get 3rd or 4th. That's really all you can do right now in the West. And like I said, I feel like Greg says, I look like Tark the Shark. I need a towel to eat here. And Lois Tarkanian became a legend in this town even after her husband. She was already a legend, and after her husband passed, she became even a bigger influence politically in this town. All right, let's go to the next one here with Pacers taking on the Bucks. Bucks are favored by 7.5. Like I said, we're going to preview them all. Bucks are still breathing, but not much. The only thing we can do is kind of pump them up here, saying the only reason we're covering them is because maybe they do still have the slightest of chances, but they'd probably have to win. They'd probably have to go upwards of 11-2 or 12-3 over the last weeks of the season here to really have any chance. But they're still favored in this one to get one done here against the Pacers. Total here to 27.5. In fact, we're seeing this line taken off the board right now. There's injury news popping up here as we speak. Pascal Siakam, he is still doubtful in this game. I don't expect him to participate in this one. Milwaukee, Bobby Portis, these are just in here. Portis questionable. Miles Turner questionable here for the Bucks. And also Kevin Porter is out of this game. So rough news here for the Bucks. They're going to be missing at least one of these guys, if not more. We already know Giannis is out, so big-time injuries for the Bucks. But the Pacers are rolling out a G League squad too. Not only is Siakam doubtful, but Toppin is questionable. Shepard is questionable. McConnell's questionable. Zubats is questionable. Nembhard questionable. Nesmith questionable. These aren't injuries like sometimes when you're like reading off guys that have been out for 10 months. These are guys who've just played recently here. So they've got guys missing all over the place here on this roster today. Quentin Jackson as well. Pretty much the whole rotation has some kind of situation here going into this game. So it's going to be kind of a messy, ugly game here with these two teams coming into this one. So we probably shouldn't have previewed it because this one really is a bit of a crapshoot. I think even I would be safe to say that here. But I know the Sharps are going to be all over Indiana in this game because of some of that information here right now. A little bit of steam coming in here right now. I can get behind this steam. Wichita State and South Florida steam to the under in their A10 championship game. I mean, on their uh, American Conference championship game. I can get behind this one probably here with Wichita and South Florida on the move here lower. It was 151. I'll quickly here down to 147.5. Wichita State and South Florida. That steam coming in on the under here. So definitely move there. All right. Oh, man, got to make a pick now here in this game between Indiana and Milwaukee today. Like I said, I think the Sharps are going to be all over Indiana here. I'm going to actually take the Bucks here to get it done, minus the points in this one. I think we might see a couple of those Bucks in there, obviously. I did mention that Porter Jr. is definitely out of the game. That's really just been announced here within the last 10 minutes or so, and Portis and Turner, we'll see about their status questionable. But remember, it's also the Pacers with a ton of guys out too. I guess if you just threw them all in a bucket, you might just say, hey, take the points, because we really don't know what's going on here. So, and all right. And by the way, Giannis is questionable. I mean, there is a chance that he makes this lineup too. So we'll see. I mean, if he does end up in the lineup, I mean, this line is going to go up considerably here in this one. We just don't have that information. I see a lot of people putting him in their props today, though, already. So maybe there is something to the chance that he could be in there today. All right. Go to the chat, see what you guys say in this one. And got, let's see here, Cash Cane's on the Bucks here. Greg's got his numbers here in this one. Indiana in the under for Greg. Public Enemy will take those points with the Pacers. Barr's on the under. Robert's on the under here in this one. Bobby Mack on the Pacers. And Public Enemy said, got to put somebody out there, right? A bunch of G Leaguers today out there. I wonder if I could look at the potential starting lineups here with my database here. Public Enemy. And let me see what that lineup looks like if we can today with the Pacers here. Let's see, Kobe Brown expected to be in there today for Indiana. Jarris Walker, of course, we know he's in there all the time, but all these game time decisions with these guys. But the Bucks still got Ryan Rollins in there for the Bucks. You got Kuzma here as well. And maybe Giannis will be in there. I don't know about Ousmane Dang. He missed that last game. He's been ill. So, all right. Great job, you guys, on that one. We move on to this one here. Yeah, we got the Cavaliers. They're definitely playing for something. The Mavericks playing for nothing, but they are getting a bushel full of points here in this one against the Cleveland Cavaliers. Now, all of a sudden, Dallas wanted to try a little bit. They won a game here recently despite being in the tankathon, beat Memphis there on the road. A little bit of a surprise, but these two teams just met here a couple of nights ago. It was 138-105. Cleveland won there. It was at Dallas. They were favored by 13.5, and Cleveland smacked them down by 33 points to get the money. Now, neither of these teams are very good at covering the spread, especially we've talked about Cleveland all year, favored by too many points, but Dallas hasn't been great either. 13-20 ATS on the road. They are 22-24. ATS is a dog, which doesn't sound great, but when you got a Cavaliers team that's 19-34 ATS as a favorite, maybe this is a spot where they could just it is in the tankathon after all, and I had a hard time not taking these teams, but Cleveland's not a very good cover team at all here, although they did just rout Dallas there last time out. Are they going to do it again here right now? Cleveland does have a little bit of sense of urgency here in the conference standings. They are trying to chase down the Knicks possibly for the 3 spot. They're 2.5 clear of 5th place Orlando, but Cavaliers still could mix it up here with the Knicks, possibly get a 3rd seed here. But like I said, Dallas, they had one good game. They really haven't done much, but 16.5, even that one seems kind of crazy when you think about Cleveland. All you got to do is win this game, not get hurt, and you'll still be able to improve your standing here. So, we saw like Boston there, right? They were favored by 20. They built the lead up to 20. So, you first half bettors, maybe that's a sign to maybe go with something early here. But then in the end, they only end up winning by about 10 or a dozen there yesterday, actually. So, right now the line is here moving down a little bit, 16-2, still 235.5, but it has moved to 16 here. I'm taking the Dallas Mavericks here in this one on the Morning Steam Show. Give me Dallas in this one. Let's see what you have here. It looks like we were having college games. It feels like these with some of these here. We're going to put up with this for another month. Let's see here. Dimitri's on Dallas as well. Greg's got his numbers there in the chat. Cavs just blew these guys out, and they'll probably do it again, says Greg. Mavs might cover this time. That's what I feel like. I mean, just measure them a little bit. Go out there. Look, there's still, I mean, we know who's in this game still, right? Don't forget. Still time to showcase Cooper Flagg. Yeah, sure. He missed some time in there. Maybe cost him a chance at the Rookie of the Year. I don't think he can salvage that against Knepel right now. But, he's back in the lineup and playing. And so for Dallas here, Clay is doubtful. Gafford's doubtful. Here, PJ Washington probable, Caleb Martin probable. For the Cavs here, they've got guys missing too. Tyson questionable, Porter Jr. out, Proctor out, Merrill out, Jarrett Allen out, Max Strus is in there, and Barr likes the Mavs here. I'll take the Mavs. Next up, we're going to two playoff-bound teams here with the Pistons taking on the Raptors here in this one. NBA action here for a Sunday. Detroit favored here on the road, 3.5, 4. Who knows? They've won 3 in a row. Back to their winning here a little bit. A lot of hiccups there. They had some injuries in there. Cade was having trouble staying healthy and kind of affect the chemistry of the team, right? So Pistons, talk about teams with something to play for, if you will, out of the playoff teams anyway. You got to look at the Hawks here. They are currently in 8th place. They're tied with the Sixers, who are in 9th. Like I said, the 7th and 8th place. Look, if you can't get 6th place, you want to get 7th and 8th place. I've been talking about getting to 8th place all season long here, because when it comes to the play-in, it is very relative. 7th place teams almost always make it to the almost like they've been doing this a few years, so I want to say 99%, but probably not enough sample, but it's probably 95%. And then the 8th place team got the second best chance, and they get in, and then the 9th and the 10th they're not in. They can't get in. They can't make it into the regular field. So very important game here for a team like the Raptors right now, who are in 6th place currently at one game back of the 5th place Magic. They've been on the tumble a little bit. Remember, they were in 5th for a while. The Heat are on their heels. The Hawks are on their heels. The Sixers are going the other way, even though they're kind of tied with the Hawks. And then you have the Hornets, who are, they're not quite going to, they'll probably end up in 10th. Maybe they'll be that team to make it from the 10 slot. But for the Pistons here, they are 4.5 clear right now of the Celtics. Now, they want to keep the pressure on here, certainly. And they should be fielding the much better team here. I actually think they might be a little bit on the cheap, thinking that maybe the Raptors are still hungry, playing well at home. I just have a lot of problems with the way the Raptors have played at home this year. 15-19 against the spread at home. Detroit 18-14 against the spread on the road. However, Toronto 15-12 against the spread as a dog, and Pistons 24-30 against the spread as a favorite. I'm going to go under in this game. Give me the under here with these two. Toronto is 14-20 to the under at home, 11-16 to the under as a dog. Detroit 23-30 to the under as a favorite, 12-19 to the under on the road. So I'm going to take the under with the Pistons and the Raptors here in this one. Toronto's gone under in 5 of their last 6. 5 of the last 6 meetings between the two teams have gone under. I don't mind if the Raptors here, but 2-5 ATS in their last 7, 3-6 straight up their last 9. The Pistons, despite the fact that they are 14-6 straight up in their last 20, they are just 3-8 ATS in the last 11. However, they own the Raptors. They've won 7 straight, covering 6. Give me the under in this one with Detroit and Toronto. And I like that season series, though. I think the Pistons still might put the heat on them a little bit. Let's see what we've got with the chat all-stars here. Pistons for Bar. Kane says, take Detroit. Steve Leptarian likes Dallas and out of the game. Here's Public Enemy on the Pistons. And let's see here. Robert's on Detroit. And Barr says, Pistons are a lock. You know we don't mind locks on this channel. Some channels you go on there and say you got a lock and they scold you. All right. Greg here has this prediction, 113-109. A lock, you know what a lock means? It means you're just pretty darn confident. Like, this is my favorite game. This is my best play. It's my lock. All right, it's a lock. Come on. Anybody can have a lock. Okay, keep it moving here in the NBA. We're only 4 games through the 7-game card. We've got the Trailblazers taking on the Sixers here in this one. Hey, look, these are 2 playoff-bound teams, or play-in-bound teams at least anyway. So don't sleep on this game. Got Philadelphia here trying to manage through their injuries. They're in 9th place, as I said. Might be well enough clear of the Hornets, but like we've said, I mean, they've been tumbling down the ladder here a little bit. They did win. They won last time out. They won 2 of 3, actually, beating Utah there, 124-114 at home, crushed them. And then they also have a win over Indiana. They had covered against Charlotte. So they did not cover last game, but they've been playing pretty okay here, it feels like, of late. Talking about the Portland Trailblazers. For the Sixers here, they're in off of a win over Brooklyn. They also beat Memphis. They lost to Detroit there. But again, they're also okay here of late. I don't think it's worthy of a big number here for Portland on the road against this Sixer team. I think Portland, while they have been pretty good, and we've been talking about how good of a season they've had, you basically have the 10th place Portland Trailblazers here going up against the 9th place Sixers in their conference standings. So, look, the thing is, Portland is 8.5 games clear of they're in. So, you know what? Portland, they're in. I mean, they're in. Is there really motivation? They are just a half a game behind the Warriors, and they're trying to, stay out of 10th place, but they're going to be in the play-in. They're no chance of blow this. Meanwhile, for the Sixers, they could stand to move up, but again, they're probably well clear of the Hornets. So I think the Sixers are the side with or without all their top players here. I think the man is going to be VJ Edgecombe probably in this game. Tyrese Maxey is out. Drummond's questionable. Jabari Walker questionable. Oubre out here. We know Embiid's still out. For Portland, pretty healthy, actually. Robert Williams III is questionable. Sharp is still out. But I'm going to take the Sixers here in this one with all these points. I don't think there's enough motivation in Portland at all to rock some team on the road. Won't be too great of rosters out there. Yeah, maybe Sixers have more injuries than Portland in this one, but I'm going to take the Trailblazers here to get it done. Total here is 228 and a half. We'll say this. I mean, look, it looks a little bit, at 228, it does look a little bit high to me, but Portland is 21-7 to the over as a favorite. I wouldn't talk you off the over. I don't think I like the over, but usually a stat like that, not, in a game like this, I'd probably just hinge my ride to something like that. But 28, I don't know if I can do it. I'm just going to take the Sixers here plus the points here in this one. Okay, let's see here. All right, who's up? Let's see. It's going to be Bar. He's on the Blazers here. And And Greg says spread's up to 8 here right now. Yeah, it is. It is definitely up to 8 or 8.5. I should update it, huh? If I'm going to take these points, give me the points I deserve. It's definitely not only 8. It's 8.5 pretty much everywhere. I think that's a given. Total here, yeah, 228, 228.5. Keep it right there. See what else is going on here in the chat. Nine Legacy says Timberwolves on the spread, Bucks on the spread, Mavericks on the spread, Pistons on the spread, Trailblazers on the spread, or as Nine Legacy likes to say, what's the word that comes up on Nine Legacy sometimes on his
final
on the spring Nine Legacy. Let's change it. I got him on the spring. I'm gonna just start saying that. I like that. All right, Jimmy Lambeau talking about a touchy-feely there. Yeah, man. I mean, I couldn't believe it. I mean, he was plus 2,000 at the end of the fight on the live betting line. So definitely some BS in there. A little bit there. I think they had their guy winning that one. Even I'm like, me. I'm always like, don't say it's not rigged. Don't say it's rigged. That's me. But I don't know. In this one, I'm thinking, what was going on there? Public Enemy on Portland. Too many points there. And Barr says, take the Philly 6. Sorry, Philly, plus 7.5. Sorry, Philly. Yeah, I think he's saying, take sorry, Philly, because they're so sorry. Robert here, I think, is on the under. Public Enemy says the Blazers will rock them here. Philly won't be able to score enough. I like the Blazers. I don't know if I like them that much. I mean, I got Philly in this game. I mean, I like the Blazers and their season. They've done a good job. All right. Greg Gibson says, take the over on that first game today with Penn and Yale, I think he's saying. Next up, Warriors are taking on the Knicks here. Playoff-bound teams here with questionable motivation. Now, the Knicks, they might be able to chase down the Celtics here for the number 2 seed. That'd be great. And they could stay ahead of the Cavaliers here. The Cavaliers are in 4th. So the Knicks are in 3rd, perfectly positioned between the Celtics and the Cavs. They're obviously going to be a huge favorite here at 14,219. Let me fix my graphic. There we go. Right, yeah, Knicks 14-2, let's call it 219 or 218.5. It feels like this one's gone down just a little bit, but I don't know if it should go down here, actually. But let's see how you want to play this one here with the Warriors taking on the Knicks. The widely reported steam did come in here on the over. It opened as low as 216.5. I think it's going to go higher than maybe this even. So you see that move has gone up for sure. Do have the injuries here for Golden State. They have plenty of injuries here. The Knicks have a few too, but for Golden State here, Draymond's out. KP's still out. Seth Curry's out again. Melton's out. Big Al's out. Moses Moody's out. That's a lot of outs. Quentin Post, and I mentioned him, he's questionable. Steph here, we know, is missing more time. For the Knicks, Sohan, he's questionable. Hart is questionable. Cat is probable. Knicks have a perfectly healthy team going out there today. Should be able to really rock the Warriors if they want to, especially the way they play at home. And the Warriors are throwing out another G League team out there. They've lost 4 in a row. It feels like maybe the committee shouldn't put the Warriors in. Maybe they can put the Pelicans in or something here instead of the Warriors, because it hasn't been great. Warriors are probably going to fall down here to the bottom spot eventually, and the Trailblazers will pass them. It feels like the Trail, especially the way we see some of the guys in the chat kind of talking up the Blazers. The Warriors are in 9th place, and again, 9th and 10th is a death sentence anyways in the play-in, but that's where they're at. For the Knicks here, like I said, there's a little bit of motivation here that could have them at least somewhat focused. I think they'll probably rock them here, but I'll probably just take the over here in this one. Even at 219, it's gone up here, but I think it'll be little resistance by the Warriors here in this one, and the Knicks can score a big number in this game. The Knicks, we know how good they've been at home, 22-11 against the spread at home. Warriors, 14-18 against the spread on the road, 10-13 against the spread as a dog. Knicks are, we think of them as a great home favorite. They're actually only 30-26 against the spread as a favorite. They've been a home dog here enough times to have this impressive record. Still, this is it's not a tankathon game necessarily, but Golden State just 4-10 against the spread their last 14. They've lost 6 of 7. They have beaten the Knicks in 4 of their last 5. Knicks, though, 8-4 straight up, 6-3 against the spread here of late. Golden State has gone over in 4 of their last 5. The Knicks have been an under team here of late, but I don't think that's going to be the case here today. The Warriors are still 40-26 to the over this season. The Knicks are kind of a 50-50 proposition over-under anyways, so I've got the over here in this one.
Urgent message.
Next up, let's take a look at the chat. That's what I want to do. Money line for Barr. He'll just lay the big money line here. Public Enemy says lay it with the Knicks. Greg's numbers are there as well. Let's see. Steve says New York under. And Greg said Knicks will love beating up teams like the Golden State Warriors. Catch them when they're, kind of down on their luck, right? All right, I think we got a couple more here. Oh, we got 9 legacy. Warriors on the spread. Warriors on the spring. And let's go to the last one here. We wouldn't preview this one if we weren't desperate for some betting opportunities. How about the Jazz taking on the Kings? They got the Kings. Basically, but look at the spread, though, actually. I think it shows you all you need to know in this one. Yes, the Kings did play last night, but they opened pretty much 1 or 1.5. It's now up to 3. Yes, they did play last night. They had a great game. They beat the Clippers. They embarrassed the Clippers, I thought. The Clippers can't really afford to lose. If there's one team in this whole playoff situation here, the Clippers. They're in 8th place, but they've been the hot team with all the momentum that could have gotten up here and keep that. They're sending out a great lineup, obviously, but even better than some of these other teams. I thought they might be able to get up into higher than the 7th spot, but that doesn't look like the case now. They've just been a little bit dysfunctional, so they might actually, Clippers might be lacking motivation. Figure all they got to do is stay in 8th place. But for the Kings here, I mean, neither of these teams are going to the playoffs, so we'll just briefly touch on this one. Jazz actually had the better record by about 3.5 games, but Kings played well last night. This move is obviously on the Kings here. I'm just going to take this game over the total, though. Come on, Utah and Sacramento. What else do you need to know? But like I said, I think the fact, I'm even seeing Sacramento 3.5. It might be going too far. But usually in a move like this, you're just going to trust the move. I was already touting Sacramento a little bit here on some of these shows already this morning. Make sure you catch me on another show here on YouTube called Cover the Spread. I give a few plays out every day here in a taped form, non-studio audience or something to that effect. No chat in that one. I just give out some picks. Easy show. Cover the Spread on YouTube. I'm out there pretty much every day with a 3-pack of games, a little parlay action, just whatever the fans want to hear. Got made the host of that show and send out some more plays on there. Cover the Spread on YouTube. Okay, what do you think here, though, with the Kings taking on the Jazz here? The Kings right now coming in with a 4-1 record against the spread in their last 5 games, even though they've gone 2-10 straight up at home, 5-15 straight up in their last 20. But they probably have someone they can beat here. And guess what? Utah's 2-9 straight up and against 2-9 straight up in their last 11 games against Sacramento. They have covered 4 of the last 6 against them, but you know what? When you're on the road, you got some bad teams, and you got Utah 2-10 straight up. Ouch! Cramp in the toe. Utah 2-10 straight up in their last 12. They are 5-2 against the spread in their last 7. Sacramento has gone under in 5 of their llast 7, but I think I'm going over in this one between Utah and Sacramento. They did just play an under last month, 121-93, as Utah smacked them down. Utah's actually won the last 2 meetings, so I'm going to take Sacramento probably to turn the tables, but give me the over as my official play here in this one at 2. 33. Yep, 233.5 here. I'm going to go over with this one. All right, here we go. Warriors in the spread there for 9 Legacy. Robert's on the Kings here, and Barr's on the Kings as well. Greg's got his numbers going, and we've got Utah there on the money line for 9 Legacy. Likes Utah to come in and beat the Kings here. Going to have some volatility, some volatility. All right, I think that's going to be it here. Take the points with Utah, says Greg. All right, that's a look at the NBA schedule. We've got 5 exciting games in college basketball, including one that starts here in about 90 minutes. And it's in the Ivy League championship game here in Cornell's home court between the Penn Quakers and the Yale Bulldogs. We got Yale, big favorite here by 8.5 here right now since I typed these in. 8.5 and down to 141.5 it looks like here. So, yeah, a bit of a move. There might be 9s out there. There's 8.5s, there's 9s, but we're definitely moved down on the total here as well in this one with Yale favored. Look, Yale had a pretty good season. I don't know if they're going to beat anybody by 10 points here in this game, but we'll see what you have in this one. With these two teams, Penn coming in here with a 4-game winning streak. They only had to win 1 game here. They were catapulted into the semifinals where they beat Harvard 62-60 as a 3.5-point dog. Yale, meanwhile, did beat host Cornell 88-76 to earn their berth here in this one. This is the number 2 and number 3. I'm sorry, number 1 and number 3 seeds here in the Ivy League final. For Penn here, they are 10-4 against the spread on the road, 12-6 against the spread as an underdog. Yale, meanwhile, just 11-14 against the spread as a favorite, 5-8 against the spread here. Let's see, 3-7 against the spread in their last 10 games. Penn's 8-2 against the spread in their last 10 on their side. So they've won 4 straight, covered even more than that. Talking about the Penn Quakers. For Yale, they come in off of the 3 straight wins. They did cover against Princeton and then in that game against Cornell. So give them some credit here. But Pennsylvania has won 8 of their last 9 coming in. So has Yale. Yale, though, is just 3-8 against the spread in their last 11 games. Meanwhile, Penn is 7-0 in their last 7 games. Now, Penn has gone under in 10 straight games coming into this one. Yale's gone under in 4 of 5. And these two teams have gone under in 8 of 9 games. No wonder the total's moving lower. Look, I got to have a premium somewhere. I'm going to take the under here on the show. I think you know where I'm headed with this one on the side. But if not, why not subscribe to winnable.com/Ramon? And I'll tell you who I like in this one when I send it out. But come on. Penn is just 2-4 against the spread versus Yale in the last 6 games. I'll calm down a little bit here. Penn is pretty much the biggest under team in the country this season. They're 6-20 to the under. Like I said, they've gone under in 10 straight. They're 5-12 to the under as a dog. So they are under city. Yale's not necessarily an over, but they're just kind of 50-50 anyways. These two teams did meet back in February. Yale won it 74-70 because Yale has been winning this series pretty much like clockwork. They did not cover that game, favored by 9.5. The other meeting in January was also won by Yale, 77-60. Yale also swept the 2 meetings last season as well, and they have a winning streak against Penn coming in here. But it's a lot of points, man. It's already gone from 10 to 8.5. But I'll take the under as my official play here, but better send out the premiums before we get off the air here, maybe. Let's see what the chat says here in this one. All right. All right. Robert talking about his Villa team in here. And maybe I can go to the Maybe I should move around my coverage here a little bit so I can keep an eye on the action here in the EPL. We're just underway, and the games are a lot like my social life so far. There's no score in any of them. All right, let's see here. Let's see. I think Greg's talking about the Kings there. Kane's on Yale. Barr's on Penn plus the points. Roberts on Yale to lay them out. And let's see here. Also, Blake going under here. And Greg talking the injury report here. Says Yale's going to have a top player back here today to help them out right now. Okay, sounds good. I know that Penn is missing Ethan Roberts. I thought he would probably be the most impactful player here. Are you under for Public Enemy? Eric Acevedo's here today. Hi, Eric. Nice to see you in there, Eric. All right. And let's see who else. Let's see here. Smashing that like is Jimmy. Hope Jimmy wasn't here when I was giving the riot act to the Spartans for never performing well in the tournament, always falling short in the Big Ten tournament. Okay, Penn played well, says Greg. Penn and under for Steve. Everybody for the under this game, but it could easily go over. I mean, it is the Ivy League after all. 9 Legacy, Penn to cover. And Chicago Joe. Good morning to Chicago Joe in there. All right. Good to see Joe today coming by here, joining us. All right, let's keep it going here right now with our next title game there. I'm on the under with Penn and Yale. Next up, go to the A10 where we've got Dayton taking on VCU here in the A10 title game. All right, man, think about that. Where are the seeded teams here? We got number 2, VCU, number 4, Dayton. So, yeah, we've had a little bit of an upset here along the way here with Dayton knocking off St. Louis there. Big comeback, 70-69 for their second straight win. You know, they didn't cover that first game, actually, against the Bonnies, but they did win and didn't matter. Then they beat VCU with that big comeback as a 4.5-point underdog there. So for VCU here, meanwhile, they did win and cover against St. Joe's in the semifinal game. They also beat Duquesne, did not cover in the quarterfinal. But, yeah, you do have VCU. I don't know. That looks like they're playing pretty well. They're on a longer winning streak, and these two teams just played in the regular season. I believe the finale, VCU got them for sure there. 68-62 on the road as a 1.5-point dog. VCU also won and covered the home game, 99-73. So VCU did sweep the 2 games and covered the spread in both of those. So still, it's Dayton. I mean, we know Dayton's got always a nice program here. Dayton 6-4 against the spread as an underdog. Neither of these teams are killer necessarily against the spread here coming in, but VCU has covered 3 of their last 5. Meanwhile, Dayton just 1-3 ATS in their last 4 games coming into this one. VCU rolled through the Atlantic 10 conference there, but did not finish first, but they did win 15 of their last 16 in conference play. Dayton just 1-6 against the spread in their last 7 games against VCU. They have won 8 of 9 and gone 6-1 ATS here coming into this game. Dayton's gone under in 7 straight. VCU's gone under in 5 of their last 6. The total here, it says 139.5 on screen. But we're starting to see some 138.5. There's 139 out there. VCU definitely favored by about 3.5 here in this one. So let's see what you got here. I'm going to take VCU, though, in this game to win and cover over Dayton. I like what I see with VCU. Let's go to the chat in this one, see what you got. We've got here Cash Kane right now is on VCU. Jimmy was in Turk and Caicos. I mean, geez, what is he doing? Playing a poker tournament down there? Nuke is on VCU. Bar is on VCU. And let's see. Greg says Dayton needs this game to go to the tournament. Yeah, for sure. I mean, this is a conference of Bubble City here. And let's see, right, Jimmy, I had the Spartans in that one. Maybe that's why I was on tilt there a little bit. Okay, seem to have lost my. I seem to have lost my peacock. All right, here we go with Blake here on VCU. Greg here with his predictions, his ratings. Dimitri on the under. Public Enemy, VCU. Robert, VCU. Dayton for the upset, maybe, says Greg. Andrew K went with Yale, I think, back in the other one. Jimmy out there celebrating his 60th birthday. All right, I hope I make it. Great job, Jimmy. All right, I'll take VCU in that one. We got a few more here. Of course, let's go to the SEC with Red Hot Vanderbilt. Man, they're playing in Nashville. Hard to go against these guys, but I'm gonna look. I think they're great. They probably will. I just can't pass up the. Well, now it is. I kind of the line has moved here. Like we said, we had that steam come in. It is back up to 2 here at a few spots. So the buyback was in a little bit on that, right? But still, it does feel like to me. Right here in this one that Vanderbilt, I'm not having regret. I mean, I am on Arkansas here. I'll just say it right away. A little bit concerned. Look, I'm a big Cup fan. Like I said, I've got 3 futures bets right now for the NCAA championship, okay? I got 40 on Duke to win 360. I've got 30 on Arizona to win 120. They were 4-1. And I've got 20 on Arkansas to win 1,200. Who do you think I'm rooting for here? Now, Arkansas is going to be in anyways, but I do like a Cup, and I think he's the type of scorer, and he's got a co-scorer, if you know what I mean. Arkansas, I can't put them in that elite class. Everybody says, who's your Cinderella? This is it. Arkansas is my Cinderella. The thing is, they're still 60-1 today, I think, if you want. Maybe they're 50-1 or something. But they're my Cinderella, and I'm going to take them to win this game. Now, they don't need to win to get in. They're going to be in. But I'm going to take them here because I like their scoring. Vanderbilt was awesome. Vanderbilt is awesome. They might have all the momentum. It said, that Tennessee would be the home team. And you know what? They kind of were. But, I mean, there were enough Vanderbilt fans to make a difference there, it felt like. In the game against Tennessee, and didn't even matter because they were so awesome anyways in the game. So I know the Commodores have the edge here in this game, but I'm going to go ahead and take Arkansas on this one. Commodores did give up a lot of offensive rebounds. They do, can keep teams in check here. I'm seeing a penalty kick here right now. Oh my God, it was missed. Oh, Leeds just missed a penalty kick against Crystal Palace here, I think. Okay, that was earlier. Okay.
Major line move.
All right, let me continue on here, though, right now. Look, Vandy, if you can defend against Vandy, because they're a kind of a 3-point shooting team. And, when you got a Cuff making big-time plays as a scorer, he can really turn it up. He can shift the game, but just by dropping 30 points. He's also one of the best passing guards in the country as well. And you've got Billy Richmond, you got Trevon Brazil, Nick Pringle. I think Arkansas is the team that I kind of want to hitch my ride with a little bit moving forward. So they got a decent, interesting coach here too. If Vanderbilt keeps the ball steady, keeps it in the half court, Arkansas is going to probably struggle against these guys a little bit. The shooting probably favors Vanderbilt here as well. They've got some nice players in there to go along with their guys. You got Tanner, you got Miles. We know how good they are. So I'm taking Arkansas, though. I might be rooting here a little bit, but I'm going to try them. I think Vanderbilt will be very popular in the chat. I haven't even looked at it yet, but let me go to it. I think it might be unanimous here. Let's see. Oh, no, Blake. Oh, Blake is taking. Okay. Yeah, Blake, I don't know. Blake, I don't know. You might just be saying it. I'm kidding, Blake, but all right, here's Dayton and Arkansas for 9 Legacy. Wow. And Nuke is on. Okay, maybe I'm right. Maybe I'm right because you guys are saying Arkansas all over the place. Dimitri here on the over. Barr is on Arkansas. Kane's on Arkansas. Should be a trade. Jimmy. Oh man, look. It should be a very high scoring game. I don't know. I mean, probably I'm on the wrong bet here on the show, but if you know what I mean, I think I've already cast my vote for the over elsewhere here. Can't be as subtle with my big bets on these shows when you only have 5 games, but 160. Is it an error? Has the spread total's gone up yet? The total opened as high as 169. It's down to 164.5. Look, there are some games where you're like, why are they still putting these? This one does not feel like it's going to be, Look, I'm all about the move sometimes. When I see a 169 or 168 move to 164, I'm like one-way traffic, and this is a sharp play, and I know that it's going to go under. I don't know what's going on here because I don't think that's going to be the case, right? I think Jimmy's right. All right. And Robert, happy with, when you know your team. Here's one great thing about, being a fan of a team, right? When your team, good or bad, sometimes it sure helps. Feels a little bit more comfortable when your team is bad, though, right? And you can bet against them all year and just laugh when you're a Padres fan like I am. Robert, though, does like it under here there. Greg says Arkansas played overtime. They're tired. Vandy here, best backcourt in the league. Come on, Greg. This Darius Cup is maybe how about the best shooting backcourt maybe, but this Darius Cup is insane. Okay, is Arkansas a lock? And well, like I said, they got an interesting coach. All right. That's going to do it for that one. Let's keep it moving. We got 2 more games. Having fun with these games here today. Thank you for joining me here on the Steam Show. And that was Andrew. Hey, I was on Vandy. All right, here we go with Wichita taking on South Florida. In this one, in the American here. This one's definitely taking. It's not 150. I know that. Oh, but it is 149, maybe 148.5. It was a little bit lower and came back up, but here's like the one where I'm saying you see a little bit of a move on the total under. It's probably going to go under, and that's where I feel more about this one maybe here. But let me look to the side. Let me see what you guys got here. Wichita and South Florida here. This one's in Birmingham, the American Championship game with a berth on the line. USF did roll yesterday. Even I rolled with USF. Even I laid the big 15.5 points there with USF. They come in hot. They're on a winning streak. They're covering spreads, but so is Wichita. Both these teams are cover monsters here right now. For Wichita here, they've won 7 straight, covered 5 straight. They've also won 11 of the last 14 games against South Florida. South Florida's won, I don't know, what is it, a dozen in a row, 10 in a row? And they've covered 5 of their last 6. South Florida's gone under in 8 of their last 9 games, and 5 of the last 7 meetings between the 2 teams have gone under, including the last meeting, 66-58. Bulls won at Wichita as a 1.5 point favorite. Also in January, they played at South Florida, and Wichita won that one So they won on each other's home floors. Wichita was a 7.5-point dog, and they won by 1, 86-85. There in that one. So look, South Florida here favored by 6. They are 14-12 against the spread as a favorite, but Wichita 7-4 against the spread as a dog, 8-2 against the spread in their last 10, and 21-10 against the spread this season. Wichita, great cover team. USF has gone under in 11 of their last 15 games as a favorite. I think we're going to get kind of a knockdown, drag out more so. And I think that's why you've seen this total kind of move lower here. But two hot teams here, and you got, modest points here with Wichita. It's not don't feel like it's a big home court or regional edge for South Florida, despite the fact it's in Birmingham, Alabama. I don't know. South Florida's traveling that heavy or anything. You give them credit, they'll be there. Let's see what you got here in this one. Okay, we're going to go with Public Enemy, like in USF. There's a VAR, like in USF in this one. And let's see, Blake here, USF and under. A lot of USF. I'm with Robert. I'm taking the Shockers here. The spreads have been moving a little bit for sure. The move is on Wichita, make no mistake. South Florida for 9 legacy as well. I'm on Wichita actually in this game. I'm going to take the points. I just think it's going to be enough that it could be a close enough game, I think. I don't think – look, South Florida, I think when they were playing Charlotte, I think that was a bit of a easier game, right? Like I said – granted, they covered 15.5. That looks very impressive. It also looks impressive that they covered big numbers of late. They covered twice big number against Charlotte. They also covered 15 against Tulane and 11.5 against Rice. But this is a shorter spread. And when they played Memphis, for example, they won but did not cover. But Wichita's a cover machine right now as well, like I said, with 5 straight covers here. Greg's got his predictions, and he says it'll be a very close game. I'll take Wichita in this one. And one more here before we go to the ice. And it's going to be Purdue taking on Michigan. Michigan favored here by 7, period. Now it's 7, comma. Oh, geez. There we go. There we go. Michigan here favored by 7, the total 149. I still haven't got it right. In fact, it's probably 6.5. Let me just start over. 6.5 total here, 149.5. Great game. It does feel like, I'm talking about grouping the teams in a little bit, and Purdue comes in here, the 7th seed. I almost want to, and we know we've seen Purdue time and time again. Now, granted, we know that with Edie it was a different story, but they've been good this year, and I almost want to say they're underrated here. Like, people aren't giving Purdue their just due. I know they're playing Michigan here. Michigan's been outstanding here, totally terrific. But Purdue knows what to do. I think in this game, I think they match up just fine with Michigan State. I don't know, laying the number here with Michigan, a team that's failed to cover in 4 straight games despite winning here. They beat Iowa by 3. They were favored by 9. They beat Sparty by 10. They were favored by 10.5. They beat Ohio State by 4. They were favored by 12.5. And then they beat Wisconsin by 3, and they were favored by 12.5. They're laying big points. They're not covering the spread. But neither is Purdue. But still, Purdue did have a nice win over Nebraska here, 74-58, to set up that game against UCLA. UCLA got the money. I was on the Bruins. They got the hook there. But look, Michigan's, they're in that group now. We talked about it on some of the other shows with some of the other hosts, and talking about the elite teams in this field of 68 that's going to get announced today. And, you can draw the line pretty much at those top 4, can't you? Duke, Arizona, Michigan, and Florida. we said Florida was going to be that fourth team, if you will, and yeah, they lost to Vandy. Okay, that's something, but we'll see. Get them on a semi-neutral off of a home court, if you will, semi-neutral court, whatever you want to call it. Because I'm not going to put any of these teams up there with those four teams: Houston, Iowa State, Gonzaga, Connecticut. And look what happened to Connecticut. St. John's, they won the tournament. They're not up there with those teams. Who else? Tennessee. So the one team to me is Purdue, right? Totally underrated in the polls. They're definitely, get their just due more so, it seems like, in the ratings. But how do you get a team like Purdue that, if you follow I always say, my numbers, my algorithm, my ratings, right? I do as a consensus ratings. Look, I like Ken Palm. I like the Massey ratings. I like the Torvik ratings. I like the Massey ratings. Okay, I look at all those and then I try to decide. And Purdue here, they're the 7th seed in the Big Ten tournament coming in. They're like the 7th team in the overall ratings by most of the rating services. They're top 10. So yeah, there's a few other Big Ten teams in there. We know that. Besides Michigan. I mean, Illinois, but Illinois can't win a clutch game if they tried. Michigan State, we know they faltered. We know Nebraska doesn't have enough. Purdue has the right combo. Purdue has the guard play for sure. So Purdue should be in this game for sure. Watch out. Michigan could lose this game. I'm not going to downgrade them if they do. I still think they are in that group. Look, those top 3 teams have 2 losses: Duke, Michigan, Arizona. You could pick a 4th team, but I'm still going to go with Florida in the end, despite the loss on that Nashville court with Vandy. Okay, and I had Vandy in that game, so I'm not going to slide them at all. Somebody put Gonzaga on their number 2 line. That's a joke. Okay, so see what you got. And see what you want to do here. I think I've talked about it. I think I'm actually going to pick the total here in this game. But you guys can decide for yourself what to do. I'll go to the chat, maybe read some trends here too. Don't forget, Purdue is only an underdog for the 4th time this season. How do you have a team ranked this low by the pollsters and then, we're only underdogs 3 times, and who they were basically underdogs to this Michigan team. They're actually favored the first one, right? Let me see here. Michigan was favored by 2.5. It was 80. Oh, they only played once. 91-80 at Purdue. Michigan won it back in mid-February here. Michigan 13-18 against the spread as a favorite. Purdue hasn't been a great cover, but a lot of the top teams in the Big Ten were not great covers because, a lot of the home teams did win some games against some of those teams not named Michigan. Purdue comes in here 4-1 straight up in their last 5, but just 1-6 against the spread. But Michigan 6-0 straight up and 1-6 against the spread down the stretch here. Michigan's gone under in 6 of their last 7. Purdue's gone over in 6 of their last 9 games. This is going to be an under, I think, here tonight. At 149, I'm going under as my pick here on the Morning Steam Show. Give me the under with Purdue and Michigan. That's going to do it for college basketball. Let's see what you guys said about this great game. Leading into the tourney, leading into the pairings. Does anybody still write the pairings down as it's being announced, or do you just wait? I used to have for decades probably, I had a full-on sheet. I'd write them down as they go. I gotta have a perfect white sheet. Let me write down, and they'd introduce them and they'd fall behind a little bit. I found it just as easy. I just write them down. I just take a blank piece of paper and I just go in order and just kind of write. Because before they'd be like, let's go to this bracket. I'm like, wait a minute, which quad are we in? And then you'd mess up half your brackets by filling out the wrong. You'd put the team. Is that the south? Is that the southeast region? Is it? Because every year it seems like, the southeast is going to play the west, and the the East is going to play the Midwest, and then the next year. So I always screwed up. So now I just write it down, and then I evaluate it that way. Okay, here we go. I'm going to look for some picks on this one. Does anybody still write out the bracket as it's being announced, or do you at least write out the teams? I write them out immediately, so I don't have to waste. I'll clean it up later. I'll make a bracket, or I'll print one out. Print one out nowadays, right? But okay, here we go. Purdue for NYC Bar. Legacy's on Michigan to cover. Bar says lean under. Blake is on Michigan. Robert's on Purdue. Nasty Nate wants a USF and Michigan parlay on the money line. Public Enemy, Michigan money line, Purdue to cover. Greg says Michigan in the under. There's Jimmy, he's a Big Ten expert here. And Boilers here for Bar. Maybe a little money line for Greg Gibson. Going under here for Bar with me. And Michigan. And I think, it's tough to cover in the Big. It was weird. I don't know. Is it tough to cover in the Big Ten? Everyone wants to beat you. Hey, Rishi's here. Says Michigan easy. Look, I don't have a problem with him saying that. I'm taking probably Purdue, but does seem like they're right. Remember? Yeah. Which president won't be doing a bracket, right? Trump doesn't do any brackets, but Obama would do the bracket, and he'd do the women's bracket too. All right. Let's see. That's it for college basketball. I'm looking forward to it. We'll talk brackets tomorrow because there's not a whole lot going on Monday. Yeah, there's a big card in the hockey and basketball without any college, though. We'll talk a little bracket, okay? Let's get to the hockey here. Started off with the Blues taking on we're going to go over them all here, even the Blues and the Jets in this one. We're desperate for sports bets. Here, the Jets are favored, $1.20. All right. The show's lost all of its momentum here right now. No one still scored in the EPL tonight. Pisa leads Cagliari 1-0. What's going on there? What's going on with my pick? Bologna goal over Sassuolo. Somewhere the scores are behind me. Eventually, I think. Mallorca came back to beat Espanyol. Sevilla and Barcelona about to go. Celta de Vigo and Betis later on. Osasuna and Sociedad. Other games in Italy. Roma and Como. Milan and Lazio. Other game in the EPL still to come. Tottenham and Liverpool. 3 games in Major League Soccer today. I think I got swept in my premiums there in MLS. San Diego blew a 3-1 lead and ended up tied against Dallas. Bad look. All right, here we go. You guys are welcome to comment. Let me step on it here with the Blues and the Jets. Blues, winners of 2 straight. They're in last place. They're not going anywhere. They're playing hot. The Blues are hot right now, about as hot as you can be for a team that's in last place. Winners of 2 in a row here over Carolina and Edmonton. Also recent wins over Anaheim and San Jose. They lost to the Islanders, played well. It was an overtime game. The Blues have played outstanding actually here of late. Winnipeg, they are off a win incredible yesterday over Colorado, 3-1. How did they do it? I mean, geez. They are on the back-to-back, though, here. St. Louis is not. Got to be riding high. You're not going anywhere if you're the Winnipeg Jets, and you just were able to knock off Colorado there impressively. They led early. They led pretty much, it felt like all the way, and got it done for a good home win there for Winnipeg. Look, they're not done, but they're 6 points out. Blues aren't totally in last. I think they're ahead of Chicago in their division and ahead of a couple teams in the Pacific. But Winnipeg I think they both have 64 points here actually coming in. Oops, where's my close bracket? And the line here is currently even down to 115 right now in this one. So let's see what you got here between these two. Winnipeg did win the last meeting between the two teams 3-1 back in January. St. Louis won a December meeting 1-0. So I'll see what you got here in this one. I mean, St. Louis has been playing very, very well here right now, and Winnipeg has not, but they just notched probably their biggest win of the season, considering how bad they've been, knocking off Colorado there 3-1 in that last game. Before that, they had lost to the Rangers. They lost to Anaheim. St. Louis does come in here having won 6 of their last 7. Winnipeg's won 4 of 6, but Winnipeg's won 14 of the last 20 meetings actually between the two teams. St. Louis has gone under in 7 of their last 8 games, including 5 straight on the road. Winnipeg's gone under in 6 of their last 7, and 4 of the last 5 have gone under. It's 5.5 for a reason. It'll probably be an under. I'm going to take St. Louis here, a little plus money. Give me St. Louis on the road against Winnipeg. I think they're playing just a little bit better. Winnipeg on the back-to-back and coming off a high of beating Colorado. I'm going to take St. Louis. Here is VAR on the Jets. 9 Legacy. St. Louis on the money line. There's Cash Kane. How about Blues on the puck line? Lay the big price, but that's okay. Public Enemy does like that under. You got to think under here, even with the 5.5, right? JP Farley, Blues money line. Thank you, Jordy. Hey, I mentioned those soccer games. Jordy's got some picks for us. I don't know if I'll have a soccer card. It's already gone off here today, and I was pretty steamed last night, so I didn't really feel like handicapping. Let's see here. That never happens, but really had a bad night here. Let's see here. Robert there. Blake here is on the Blues. Jordy's on the under in this one. Robert's on the Blues. Blues rule, says Eric. And he's on the puck line there, I think he's trying to say. And Greg says 3-2. Blue. Where's Blue? He was here for 5 seconds. Next up, the Sharks are on the road taking on the Senators here. You can't tell me the Senators are going to be $2 favorites over the Sharks. Now, I think Boissois is going to be in there in goal here. Let me see if I can fire up the goalies here anyway and make sure I got some of these guys right. But we know we've seen Boissois before, but I think they're down to their third stringer here today. In fact, let's see here. See if any goalies are confirmed so far. I don't think so, but it does feel like the sites are kind of saying, here's Manchester. Robert, I'm seeing it now. I'm seeing it right now, Robert. I'm seeing it. Man U celebrating this goal here against Villa. All right, I'll break it down here with these two, with the Sharks and Ottawa here. Sharks 2 straight wins. Ottawa's been playing pretty well here of late. Now we know right now Ottawa in the thick of things a little bit here, just 5 points back of the playoffs here. Sharks, meanwhile, they're in right now, but man, they're trying to hold off division rivals Seattle and LA here in that tough race for the number 2 wild card. So Sharks are on 70, Kraken 69, Kings 69, and Nashville 6-7. But $2 favorite here, I don't care if they're on their third. I mean, James Reimer's in there too. It's not exactly a big deal here. You got to think the Sharks have a big chance here, don't you, to stay in this one? Why wouldn't the Sharks, all these one-goal games, Sharks are just fine. Now, I know Ottawa's played pretty well here of late. They actually won, I think, 4 of 5, coming in off of a win over Anaheim. But that was last night. Sharks also played last night at Montreal, got a big win. They've got back-to-back wins here. It is the 4th straight road game for San Jose here. And like I said, Ottawa with some wins here. They really just beat up on the Western Conference. Their last 4 wins are over Calgary, Seattle, Vancouver, and Anaheim. They'd probably make the playoffs over in the West. Ottawa here, 15-11 at home, 26-21 as a favorite. I'm going to take the puck line with San Jose. Make no mistake. Give me San Jose on the puck line here, minus $1.40 or so, but I'm going to do that. Let's see what you got in the chat. I think I like the, got to have some premiums, and I'm probably going to go with the total here in this one. But let me tell you this, though. Ottawa, The total's gone over in 10 of the last 11 meetings between these two teams when playing in Ottawa. Now, that is an 11-year sample size, but nonetheless, 4 of the last 6 meetings have gone over. Ottawa has gone under in 5 of their last 7 at home. Ottawa's won 4 of 5. San Jose just 1-5 against Ottawa in the last 6 meetings, 2-5 straight up in their last 7 on the road overall. But I'm going to take the puck line here with the Sharks on the road, plus 1.5 both teams on the back-to-back. So I don't want anything. I think 210 is ridiculous for Ottawa. San Jose's been pretty terrific here, no doubt about it. They're 39-18 as a puck line underdog, totally acceptable. Ottawa 17-30 as a puck line favorite. That's probably okay too, but I'm going to go ahead and take the Sharks here in this one on the puck line. See what we got here. Anybody want to take a stab at this one? Here's Cash Kane with me here. Greg, though, liking the Senators to win the game at least. Andrew K. talking about that goal. Here's Sharks for Blake. Senators puck line for 9 Legacy. Farley wants the Sharks here as well. Senators money line for Jordy, and Robert will take the Sharks. Next up, we're going to a nice game here, fun game here with the Ducks on the road taking on the Montreal Canadiens. And the Ducks are favored in this one. I'm sorry, the Canadiens are favored in this one. What are we talking about here? I think it's going to be Fowler in there for the Canadiens there. Let me switch that. I think Fowler is going to be in there. A couple sides have Montembeault, but I think it's Fowler. You got Dostal and Fowler here possibly. Dobish, I think, was in there last night, so I don't know what the situation actually is with we know that Montreal's had injuries in the goalies here of late, but Terry is questionable for Anaheim here. Carlson's also questionable, so we've got some issues. And of course, Gudas is out 5 whole games for basically taking out Austin Matthews, and sucks to get an injury when you're playing. You don't have to play because your season's over, but you're giving it all your heart there, like Austin Matthews. And, bad shot. That's just the way Gudas plays. I really don't think it was total. I don't want to say that. I think he was trying to put a hit on him, but I don't think, I don't want to say it like that either. It just sounds like I'm making an excuse for the guy that pretty much took a run at a guy. Okay, let's go to it, though, here with the Ducks and Montreal. Montreal's won 3 of 4. They just lost last time out, though, to San Jose, snapped a 3-game winning streak. Still, Montreal 18-12 at home right now, and Anaheim just 14-17 on the road. But they are 23-20 as a dog. Terrific dog is Anaheim. And, look, they're a little bit of a dog here against Montreal, but, Anaheim here, 2 straight losses to Toronto and Ottawa. They're on the Canadian swing here a little bit. They beat Winnipeg to start the series, but it does feel like this might not be the best situation for Anaheim. It's not great either because they're holding on here to first place right now with Vegas. Oh, Vegas is actually back in first place by 1 point. I'm sure Vegas will end up ahead of Anaheim eventually, and they'll finish in probably in second. Edmonton so awful right now, giving up all those goals here of late. So let's see, though. Montreal here. Both these teams heavy overs, it feels like here. Why not? I mean, you got Anaheim and Montreal combined 78-53 to the over, and Anaheim 19-14 to the over on the road. Montreal 18-14 to the over at home. So probably be a pretty high scoring game. Probably be one of those typical 7-goal games here, of course, and probably be an easy over there. I'm taking the Ducks. I'm going to take the Ducks in this one to win on the money line. Give me Anaheim here in this one. Kind of want to play them as a premium, but I want to give them out here. I think they can win as a dog. See what Montreal has in there in goal. Here we go with some picks from you guys. Public Enemy's on Montreal. Blake says Montreal and over. Robert's on Montreal. He's also on the over, and everybody's on Montreal but me. And I'm worried about it here, but I'm going to take him here mostly at the price, $1. It actually is probably down to $1.25 or so right now. But I'm taking the Habs here in this one. I'm sorry. I'm taking the Ducks. I'm taking the Ducks. Sorry, guys. I was 9 legacy on the Habs. That's what I was going to say right there. Going to say his pick. Okay, next up. We do have those Maple Leafs taking on the Wild here. And it wasn't good last night there, obviously, for Toronto without their stud in the lineup. I know a lot of people thought they'd come out there, play tough. You're playing Buffalo there. I guess, actually, I thought had the game on. It was tough. We had the fights on. So ended up being a 3-2 game there. I had the under in the game. It went to a shootout. Buffalo and had their winning streak snapped there. For Minnesota here, they've actually lost 2 in a row to the Rangers and Philly right now, but pretty big price here. But I'm probably going to lay it here with Minnesota actually on the puck line. You got obviously a back-to-back here for Toronto and Minnesota, but Minnesota off a couple of losses here at home. You got limping Toronto coming in here right now. Yeah, I thought they played pretty well. They beat Anaheim there at home, and then now on the road, though, lost last night. So I'm going to take Minnesota here on the puck line in this one. Minnesota, not a great puck line favorite at 12-27. That's really bad. And Toronto is a puck line underdog here, just 18-15. That is weak. As a puck line dog, you're going to need a better percentage than that. I'm going to take the Wild here in this one to win and cover the puck line tonight. Wild have won 3 straight meetings against Toronto, including back here in January in the other meeting, 6-3. Minnesota won it in Toronto. So I'm going to take the Wild here on the puck line in this one over Toronto right now. And let's see what the chat has going in this one. Canadians money line here. In that other game, Wild money line here for Jordy. Blake's on the under and Kaprizov for a goal for JP. All right, I got a couple more here on the ice, and then we'll be out of here. We had a good show, I think, today. I'm cheering up here a little bit. Florida and Seattle in this one. You've got Panthers here with Bobrovsky favorite on the road here against the Kraken. What the hell? Don't they know? Panthers here. I can't feel too good about this Panthers team. Yeah, they finally woke up here again. Remember, they woke up before, and I thought, oh, they're going to make it finally wake up here. Like I said, $60 just down the drain. I thought Florida, I took them way back when. 60 to win 600 at 10-1. What a joke that was. Thought the Panthers would come back, get back in this season here, but no. Still, they've won 3 in a row now, too little too late. And Seattle is struggling, but they did win last time out. Seattle beat Vancouver last night 5-2 on the road. Impressive win there for Seattle. We had a winner, at least in that one. And for Florida here off their game here, they've had some time to rest here. Despite with this 3-game winning streak, they beat Detroit twice and they beat Columbus. So a little bit of a good run here for Florida. Still, Seattle 16-13 at home, and they're plus money. Yeah, maybe Florida is supposed to be better, look better, whatever. But I don't want Florida here against the Seattle team that's in a desperate spot here, 1 point behind the Sharks right now, battling for the playoffs. Florida's not coming back. They're 11 points out of the playoffs right now. Their season's toast. Are they really going to be? I'm taking Seattle here in this one, please. Give me Seattle here to win over Florida. Maybe I'm missing the point. Maybe I'm missing the boat. I'm sure Florida in the end would still be a better team year in and year out here, but I don't know. They've got to score some goals here in this game, and I think that actually might be the problem. I don't want to tip my hand on the premium here, but there you go, Robert. There you go. I'm seeing it now. I see. You see the not supposed to look at this, but you can see what's going on here. And there's the scores. By the way, the scores made it. The scores made it here. What do we got here? There it is. 1-0. How fast will the scoreboard be here? We're going to get that goal. Let's see here. Palace and Leeds, no score. Nottingham, Fulham, no score. Pisa 3-0 over Cagliari. Bologna over Sassuolo, 1-0. We're underway in France here with Paris and Strasbourg, no score. Mainz over Werder Bremen, 1-0. Sevilla and Barcelona there, just underway. Where's our goal? Where's our goal? How long is it going to take? I thought this was real time. All right. Show's almost over, so I'm having some fun with you guys here. We got one last game left. I'm on the Kraken there, but I'm going to send out a premium, I think. All right, let's see here. Robert's on the over, I think. Kraken here for Blake. JP Farley Kraken. Jordy Kraken. Let's get Kraken. And that Barcelona game has started, said Jordy. All right, here we go. Oh, are we? Is it way behind? Uh-oh, I see it now. We're having a problem. No, one of the goals not up there. We're in the VAR. We're VARing. You know who the best VAR official would be? NYC VAR, of course. Why would VAR do that to you, Robert? Don't be talking about NYC VAR like that. Our man VAR. They named VAR after our man VAR. Oh, you can see him even try to stay on side there. You know, it's one of those back in the day they'd never call it because the man, he showed effort. Okay, here we go. Predators and Oilers to wrap us up. Man, here we go with the Oilers again. It's a goal. Yeah, it's a goal. I think what it was, you know, they're going to review it, but as long as he got those feet back, it looks like a little bit, huh? Okay, let's go with this one here. I mean, come on, the Predators and the Oilers, you got to have a 7-goal game here with these guys, don't you? 6.5 over 20 on the screen. It's 6.5 over 25 or 30, honestly, here with these two. And let's see what you got here. Sarish going up against Jari here, possibly for Jari. $1.85. Oilers have lost 2 straight here right now. Losses to Dallas. They gave up 7 goals. They lost to St. Louis as well. So inconsistent. Still, they are home here, 16 and 11 coming into this one. Nashville, just 16 and 29 on the road. I mean, come on. Not good, but you know what? Don't forget, you do have Nashville here, 28 and 17 as a puck line underdog. Edmonton, 18 and 37 as a puck line favorite. Maybe you could think, the Predators on the puck line, though, it is a little bit stiff to lay it on the puck line with them here at up to minus $1.65 right now. It is getting higher, it feels like here. Oh man, Villa just threatening here. But in this game, I'm just taking the over. Do I need to go over the trends here? Now, look, Predators are an under team, no doubt. A slightly under team, but 13 and 18 to the under on the road still. And Edmonton, 22 and 8 to the over at home, 40 and 25 to the over overall. It feels like you're never out of it with an Edmonton over, even if it was 3-2 last time. There'll be some unders in there. In fact, it felt like the total kind of went up, and then they were it moved up to 7 under 40, and then the Sharps were kind of hitting it there. I don't think there's any true 7s out there as a main line right now, but it is certainly 6.5 over 25 or 30, pretty heavy. But I'm just going to take the over with this one, Edmonton and Nashville. Seems maybe kind of square here, but I'll do it. The two teams went for 7 goals back in January when the two teams met, 4-3 in that one at Nashville. Nashville won. Then they played earlier in January with 6-2. Edmonton did play a meeting last November, just 3-2 Edmonton at home. Edmonton's actually owned these guys a little bit of late. In fact, Edmonton here has won, 5 of the last 6 meetings between the two. Edmonton still dropped 8 of their last 12, and Nashville just 1-5 straight up in their last 6 games on the road. Nashville 2-5 straight up in their last 7. They've actually gone under in 6 of their last 9. Edmonton over in 6 of 8 at home and 7 of their last 10 overall. Edmonton has won 8 of the last 9 meetings between the two teams here in Edmonton. I'm still going over.
Final.
All right.
Final.
It's going to do it here for the morning steam. Thank you very much, everybody. Great show. Let's see if anybody made a pick on that last game. And let's see here. Goal stands 1-1 here. Over for Farley, over for Blake. Oilers here for Robert. Barcelona's on the board. There, I see it. Yep, I'm looking at it right now. There's the kickoff. 1-0 here. Diaz scored it. Okay, that's it for the show. You guys, thanks a lot. You guys made me feel a lot better after last night. And hope we have a great betting day. Man, what we should do is have we should have our own, well, I guess we'll just talk about it tomorrow, but we should do like a bracket show, right? That'd be cool. I mean, everybody else is probably doing it, or at least on TV. I don't know, anybody doing it on YouTube? Have a bracket show. All right. And let's see. Chicago says, what do you do? Chicago Joe, I spend so much money on subscriptions. You guys better sign up at winnable.com/Ramon. But no, I do. I don't know if I can talk about this. Todd, I will have, I think, a baseball card today. The baseball, by the way, don't want to bury the lead on this, but on the picks yesterday, on my picks, I think we had a pretty strong, oh man, you just scored. Okay. Yesterday, though, my college baseball was actually pretty good. I also went 3-0 in the NHL with my premium picks over at winnable.com. We won our college baseball free selection with Texas A&M. We won, I think we went 4-2 in college baseball. West Virginia on the run line, Carolina run line, Oregon State run line, Texas run line. And I think we lost 2, but I think we were 4-2. So the premiums I thought were pretty good. My Cage Warriors, my debut in Cage Warriors premium picks did not go well, but that's okay. So check me out over at winnable.com/Ramon. And then let me see, Dominican Republic for Blake. Chicago said, what about? So if anybody is wondering, I don't know if you guys use Fire Stick. Does anybody use some of those apps, some of those streaming apps instead of paying? I spend a lot of money, but I still have to have a few games that I can't get, and I go with those apps. And I know the very popular Sports Fire went down last week, I think permanently. I don't know. I think, Amazon's kind of cracking down, which I don't think is truly legal if you really wanted to, a test case. They always said that, people always said when I was selling I used to sell some boxes back before Fire Sticks. Remember they used to have like a little black box and you'd spend like $300. You get everything like when you download the jailbreak Fire Sticks right now, and you can sell them for like $300 back in the day. I bought like 50 of them, and I thought I'd make a bunch of money, and I only was able to sell like 20 of them, and I wasted a bunch of money. No one really got the technology, and then Fire Stick kind of came out after that. I was left holding the bag. Dumb me. But so the Sports Fire app that has been so popular, I guess, went down. So people are kind of looking around for some other ones right now that are either just as good, that have those mostly those European channels a little bit. And what's the one that I've been using here now? It's called Sports X with a Z. Sports with a Z on the end. Sport ZX it looks like, but I think it's supposed to be Sports X. And that one's pretty good. You can download it through your downloader and do all those things, make sure you turn off I don't know why they pick on Sports Fire and they just fire up, and I don't know if this one's been around, but so Sports X, if I could, I don't know if I can say it, but I just did. And that's the one I've kind of been using when I need to go to get some wild game that isn't available on my subscriptions. And I'm like, you can always trust those apps to have it. So, all right, 4-3 Oilers for Greg. Thanks for a great show, you guys. Let me do the drawing. Let me run Mikey's commercial here, and I'll do the drawing.
Hey, it's Mikey Money here, letting you know the Sports Money team is live on Winnable. Come check out our best bets.
For a low monthly cost, you get the very best bets delivered instantly to your phone by text the moment they're locked in. No delays, no missed lines, just the smartest plays at the best odds.
We do the work, you get the plays, and they're sent right to your phone right when we drop them.
Don't wait, don't guess, don't miss the line. Join the winning team today and start cashing tickets with Winnable.
All right, let's do the drawing here right now and pick a winner. If anybody would like to win the picks here, and if not, please subscribe over at winnable.com/Ramon. I had a pretty okay day there yesterday. I think, the thing is, I pick all the major sports here. I mean, that's what we love. But over on those, I mostly send out other play, like college baseball, their tennis as well. Yeah, I got some more. You're going to get a little more hockey, a little more basketball from me, other sport, some additional picks. It's more picks from me. It's not, some fancy guaranteed service. I wish it was. I have that available, as a lot of people know, but this one is just more picks from me, right? I'm sitting here all day long watching the games, doing what I do. Here we go with the drawing. Nuke, you got Zach, you got James, you got Jordy, you got Noli. Was Noli here? Did I see Noli in there? Did I miss his pick? Nuke, Jimmy. I hope I didn't miss Noli's pick. Eric Acevedo. Eric, you win the contest. Use the promo code WINNER to get signed up. If not, I'll put another month on your subscription if you're already there. So, yeah, you know what? Hey, thanks, Derek. Nice to have him. That's going to do it here for the show, and we'll see you back here on the morning steam tomorrow. There, I really appreciate it. We'll go over the brackets then, even though it would be cool to have a show about the brackets, huh? There's no, there he was right at the end. Okay, I wondered, I didn't see that. He came in here at the end. There it is. Penn and Yale under. Noli, you weren't here for the start of the show. That was my pick. That's all right. We got Noli on it too, so we're all on it. Penn and Yale under. There's only 5 games. What do you expect Noli to come in here and pick some other game? How did my Chinese basketball do last night? All right, Jordy, thank you. Everybody, thank you very much. There, right? Greg says he's got Fire Stick. Yeah, no doubt about it. You got to have one of these Fire. I got Fire Stick on every TV, but the Fire Stick, because that's how you get the other apps too. The paid apps are on the Fire Sticks. And I just ended up with a bunch of, 25 boxes that I never sold. I bought them for $100. You're selling them for $300. I guess I probably broke even, but ended up with a bunch of stupid boxes. That's going to do it. Thanks, everybody. Great time today. See you tomorrow from Las Vegas. This is Ramon Scott. So long. And feel better. Sean Higgs, everybody. Go to Sean's. Please go to Sean's X page, and he was feeling under the weather yesterday, and let's all comment on Higgs's I don't know, maybe he's back on the air. Hopefully he's feeling good enough that he's already on the air, but if not, go to Sean Higgs's X page, everybody. Let's bombard him with feeling better. He was showing himself a picture with an IV. Hopefully it was just a little dehydration there and everything. So please go to Sean's page. Let's go all wish him feel better, okay? Go to Sean Higgs on X right now and say feel better on his little picture where he has him with that IV going because he was not feeling good, and that sucks. All right, please do that, everybody. Please go wish him get better, Sean, and I'm sure they'll pump him up with some fluids there, and he'll be just fine, okay? Thanks, everybody. Morning steam.
Cover, that's gonna cover, that's gonna cash. Then we make the 100-yard dash to the window. I don't know what you thought. It's Ramon Scott running so hot. Sports make money and we make money with sports money every single day. NFL, NHL, NCAA. Stay away from the juice, we might play a parlay. It's the morning steam. What? Ramon Scott, sports money. What? Wake your ass up and let's get to the money. Get to the money.